Hello everybody and welcome to TGP2. We are gonna be racing at Imola and Japan, and we have a special guest here tonight. It is Lewis. Say hello, Lewis.
Hello, everybody.
Obviously, was driving until we had a little accident.
Small incident.
Small incident. So,
Yeah.
we go and look at the championship order real quick. CJ was 3 points ahead of Lewis. Obviously not anymore because Lewis isn't racing for the next at least 4 weeks. But CJ also isn't racing, which means there is a lot of points for the likes of Jess and Dan Morris, Deck, Chris Johnson, everyone else pretty much, the midfield. So a lot of points on board to hopefully catch up to CJ. In the constructors, it is Haas leading the way by 20 points, around 20 points, from Red Bull, and Alpine aren't too far behind either. So, last week we had CJ and Dan Morris win, Monaco and Azerbaijan, and we shall go to qualifying where it is pouring it down with rain.
Very wet.
Yeah, I think that might be full wet conditions. Let's have a look. Oh, inters.
No, we've got some inters on.
Interesting.
Stereogram is braving it first, taking that first lap, followed by Jack Craig in the Alpine.
It's going to be horrible, I think, with these guys. It's interested to see if it's going to be raining in the race. It's really got an issue with Mick Shu has also already selected the wrong car. He isn't meant to be in the McLaren. I can't remember what team he's meant to be in, but he's not meant to be there. So, we are going to focus. Who should we focus on first? Who do you think we should focus on?
We'll go for who's out first. Stereogram. I'll watch him.
Okay.
See how wet it is. Very, by the looks of it.
Okay, so I've got a message from Bazza who says rain towards the end of the race, 86%. So
this could switch up the strategy.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to a track wrap up real quick. I have been unprepared as per usual. Okay. So here goes Stereogram for his lap. As he goes technically into turn 1. I just class this as one whole straight, but Formula 1 has other ideas. I'm just gonna class this as we'll follow the rules. Turn 2, clip the apex. Oh, and he's gone straight off, so that is not a lap worth watching.
Jack Craig behind us just started a lap as well.
On board with the Alpine driver as he goes through the fast turn 5 and 6. Obviously in the wet, bit harder to master. So I'm not sure how many of these drivers have practiced Imola, but I'm sure not many have. As he goes up the hill into then turn 8 and 9 before then following the little kink in turn 10, then brake hard into turn 11 and 12, turn 13, I don't know where another corner's come from, but into the little chicane. Horrible corner to get right, but if you get it right, you gain all the time in the world. Neatly done by Jack, but that's because he's
invalidated.
So,
Wet Lemons is on a very quick lap by the looks of things, just behind.
Wet Lemons,
so fastest sector 1 and 2.
He's impressed. Well, he did impress in Monaco before taking out half the grid.
Yeah.
Wasn't his smartest race, but I'm sure he is looking to bounce back. He comes through the final corner. Let's see what he can set. The first lap time on the board, say 1:26.1. Are we going to see any improvements from that?
For
Let's find out.
TGP2's next.
Who's next? It's Mercedes of Luca. Oh no, not Luca. Who's the Mercedes? Dark Shadow, who is invalidated. I feel like
Chris
this
Johnson
might be in.
is coming around the final corner.
See what he can set. 29.0. I presume that was quite a messy lap
Yeah,
from Chris.
I would say so.
As the drivers come in thick and fast, Darky has invalidated, which means we go to the Alpine of Dan Morris. Let's see. Title contender at the moment. What's he going to set? It's going to be a 25-1, a whole second quicker than Wet Lemons. So that might be track evolution, but that could also just be pure pace. Let's watch it on board with.
From the looks of things, Wet Lemons has got at least a lap's extra of fuel on board his car, so maybe doing a few laps, trying to get used to the conditions.
Indeed, as we are going to watch with Jess. Obviously, very impressive in Canada.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to see if that form can continue, as she, I was going to say opens the DRS, but she doesn't. Goes 7th place, a 1:27.3. Not the best lap from her, but I'm sure she has more time.
Wet Lemons has gone 5/10 quicker than his previous time. He's closing that gap to Dan Morris. Jack Craig set at 26.7. About a second behind Wet Lemons just now. Very close between Jack Craig and Acorn at the moment, with only 1/1000th of a second between them.
Indeed, it looks like a lot of these drivers have put in a fair few laps of fuel.
Yeah.
As Chris is going to start his lap. Dark Shadow has
Kaya has retired from the session.
He's done that in the pits. Now I wonder if he's had a quali ban. Dan Morris
Potentially.
1:25.0 now, so I think the track might be improving, or he has been prepared for the wet weather. As Luca goes 4 for 1:26.1. Good lap from him, not the fastest though. I'm sure he will go and improve on that. I'm really hoping you can't hear the screaming in the background. I have no clue what that is. Sounds like someone is getting murdered. Jack Craig, let's see. Is he? No, he's on the lap.
It's a slow lap, yeah. Charging his battery back up for another lap.
A whole 9/10 up on his personal best. Is this going to be pole position? It is by 7/10. So I think the track is improving as we're watching board with Jess, who is starting her lap. Let's watch on board. Is Jake on a lap? He's a medium, so I presume not. Is he? He might be actually.
Looking like a quick for 7, 8/10, 5th place for Jake in the Red Bull, making his Red Bull debut.
Indeed, he teams up with Jess for the Constructors title. I believe that's the reason why he joined. As we're going to say, these through is Luke on the lap, who is matching his second sector. Can he improve? It won't be a massive improvement. Might get him ahead of Daniel though, as he comes across the line. And actually gains 4/10 up to 3rd place at 1:25.7. Which on board with next.
Jack Craig is 4/10 up, heading down to turn 17. He's kept it clean, but he's got a little battery left at the end of this lap as he comes around the final corner. Puts it at P5, 6/10 quicker than his previous time. This track is changing very quickly. There's a big dry line appearing now for the drivers.
I do wonder if we're going to maybe see it dry out at the end. It could be, I don't know. As Kaya, his reason of retirement, now this is a new one for me, he forgot his setup. Now,
nothing worse.
Unfortunately, he's retired in the pit lane, but he's not going to be able to equip it anyway.
No, because he's done a lap. I think he did an out lap. So
yeah, I'm not really sure what he's planning there, but as Bazo goes to 8 for 1:26.6. grid's looking a bit more shaped up than I thought it would, as Wet Lemons was a 10th up and has aquaplained off the circuit. That won't be an improvement for him. Who else is actually on a proper lap?
Jake is a good bit up on his previous lap time. This could put him ahead of Jack Craig and Dan if you will not actually. As long as he keeps it neat and tidy, which he has.
He has been performing quite well.
It's the fastest sector 2 for Jake.
This could be a really good lap from Jake as he goes through the chicane and then down.
Maybe putting the fuel loads down a little bit from previous laps.
Indeed, as he runs the curb a little on the left, runs the car out on the wide, on the right, today, into the final corner. Well, I count it as the final corner. Into turn 19, it is a 25.8, puts him P4, not a bad lap from Jake Warrior. As I think Morrison is on a lap as he comes through the final corner.
Oh.
This will be interesting to see where he can place the Alpine, and it is well positioned.
Daniel P. Wheel on that has just set a fastest sector 2.
Keep an eye on him then as he comes through the final 2 corners. Track is ramping up, I would say.
Very quickly.
Indeed, as he fails into the pit lane. Interesting.
Jack Craig is 5/10 quick up on his time as he heads down to turn 14. As he sets a fastest sector 2, 8/10 quicker than his previous time. That'll put him P3 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Jack so far as he comes through the final 2 corners. Pretty good line so far. Get it steady on the throttle. A little bit slidey as he comes across the line. It is a 25.47 improvement. Not bad. Getting some TGP2 drivers.
Not bad from the old Alpine driver.
Indeed.
Lucas on his run down to turn 14, also 6/10 up, and also has set a fastest sector 2. That second sector is drying up very quickly.
I think the game is unfortunately lying to us.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
doing it to every corner.
Yeah.
As
taking the Mickey.
Yeah. Luca then, I expect good big things from him. Apparently he took some drugs to go quicker. So let's see how well they're working. It's not pole position, puts him at 25.0. So he might need to go to a different manufacturer for those drugs because they're not working so far.
Chris Johnson just starting his lap. He's just under half a second down. It's very slidey through there for him. On his way down to turn 7.
Second up on his lap time, though 29.0. You'd kind of expect to be second up on that time. And I wonder if he is slightly struggling with the weather. I would be. Wet weather in this game can be quite rough. And he goes down the hill. Oops, the apex, lovely. Don't run wide on that curb. It's so brutal. A little bit wide and it ruins your lap time. Purple's at 2. I'm going to pretend that has not picked up.
2.3 seconds up on his lap time now.
So he's looking at 27 in a moment, but as he goes down the hill, what will it be from the Ferrari driver? Bit slidey, nothing too bad though. Final corner, pretty decent exit. It's going to be a 25.6.
Wow,
good lap.
Very good lap. 3.5 seconds quicker than his previous lap. Yes, Deck is 8.5 up on his lap time. I could see him maybe not improve position, but improve his time. If he gets a good sector 3 here, he could see P9.
Jake Warrior has selected the wet tyre. I'm not quite sure what strategy he's
a bit of testing for Red Bull maybe there.
Yeah. As Deck comes across the line, P5? 25.
P5. That was a very good final sector for Deck. 9 thousandths behind Jack Craig.
Stereogram, I thought was on a lap, is driven into the grass, so that will not be a lap. Who else is on a lap?
Well, Lemon's on a lap, but he's unfortunately second up in the previous time. I would have seen him take provisional pole, but he'll go again. As Luca Ciapelli is coming. Oh, has also invalidated his lap. He's improving. Deck has gone for another lap. He's a 10th up on his time. I'll see him take P4 off Jack Craig. Chris Johnson's down on his time.
So I wonder if everyone's now putting lower fuel loads in. Only 3 minutes left in the session. Deck 1/10 down on his lap now.
See, Baz is about to start a lap. I think he made a mistake. I think he went off at turn 2 on the start of his flying lap.
Jumped up. Daniel, 24.8, jumped all the way up to P3. Did not expect him. Didn't even know he was on a lap. As Jack Craig has selected the soft tyres, so...
brave, very brave from the Scotsman. His Deck dives into the pit lane. Maybe seen Jack Craig's very strange tyre choice and is maybe thinking it's maybe softs now. From the rain that is falling on my screen, I would say that is very much not soft weather, but
who knows,
maybe... There is an Alpine in the pit lane with soft tyres on, so we'll go with that.
Maybe on his game it's completely dry. Though it doesn't look like it by the way he's driving.
Nope. This will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Bazza, let's see what he's cooking in the Haas. Bazza, I'd say he's got decent pace.
8/10 up.
Yeah, not too bad from Bazza. There's a yellow flag that isn't Jack, which I was surprised about.
Stereogram.
There's a lot of wets being selected. I do wonder if the track's actually getting worse, which it doesn't look it by the lap times, but we've got a fair few selecting wets. As Bazza goes into
Jumps
7th
up to
7th
place.
I don't know then, why is everyone... this tyre allocation's very bizarre.
Yeah, we've got some idiot on the softs, 5 on the wets, all in between on the inters. It's very strange.
Does look like it is slightly...
Jack's cut the chicane on his outlap. It's obviously not that dry.
It's looking promising, I think.
Unless he's trying to dummy everyone else and they're actually amazing.
Oh, I think he's just invalidated at the start of his lap as well, going wide. Is he going to carry on? He doesn't.
Nope, he's in. He is in.
So
that is Jack Craig's qualifying over.
Wow, 23.5.
That's a very good lap. Sean is setting, Wet Lemons is setting his way out for the start of the lap, so we'll see if he can gain that, what, 8.5 tenths, 7.5 on Dan Morris this lap.
Yeah, so everyone's starting their lap time. I think we should watch on board with Wet Lemons then. As he goes through the first sector, it's a 26.8, 2/10 up on his personal best, but not enough to take pole position from Dan Morris as it stands. As he goes up the hill, into turn 8, and then getting the car into 9 on the curb. Don't run too wide through here, nicely done. Into turn 10 before flinging the car into 11 and 12. Don't run it too wide.
He's lost the rear.
And I think that might be
Wet Lemon's lap over.
Indeed. As Luther only a 10th down on his lap on the wets. Maybe the wets were the tyre in the beginning.
Jess is currently 6/10 up on her lap time, so this could see her take... Well, maybe not. Well, could see her take P8, P9 at a best.
As Dan Morris has improved his lap again. Wow, he's gone over a second quicker than Wet Lemons in second place. He is putting a statement out.
A very good lap from Dan Morris and his Alpine.
Jess goes
Jess is up to 9th. Stereogram.
So
that is it. I think. Yep, Lucas letting the RB go by. I think that's it.
Indeed, Dan Morrison. Very impressive showing here in the wet weather in Imola.
He's got the pace for it, so if the race is wet, then we could see Dan Morris win potentially.
Would be interesting indeed. So, as we wait for Luca, who's decided he's going to wait us out to
Yeah.
finish the
Enjoy the
session.
rain for a little bit longer.
Poor mechanic's getting soaked.
So we've had some news off the Alpine wall. Start dry, the race, with a 20% chance of rain after 15 minutes. So we could see rain in the final few laps at Imola.
That'd make it quite interesting. Just gonna check.
Shall I take us through our order, or shall I?
You go for it, go on.
So at Imola we have Dan Morris on pole position by a second to Wet Lemons TGP2 with Danny P on it, following Mr. Chiappelli, Jack Craig with his strange tyre choice, Acorn, Baza, Chris Johnson, Jessica Ball, Jake rounding out top 10, Mick Shue, Stereogram, Dark Shadow, and Durkee. It's the final drivers on the grid.
Well done for getting that done.
Yeah.
Tyler did not want to let you go through that. So,
First one, can't mess it up.
looks like the teams have different weather reports. As Wet Lemon says he only saw 9% chance in the rain, in the race. So
Jack Craig's weather up is as dodgy as his tyre strategy for qualifying. So
yeah, you do not want to be trusting that Alpine team at the
nope.
moment. A bit worried for Dan Morris, to be fair.
Seems to just be on the other side of the garage that it's dodgy on.
There's the crowd cheering on the
Cheating
non-existent.
for nothing.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win this race?
From what we saw in qualifying, if it's going to be wet, it could be. I don't think it's going to be wet enough for Dan Morris to show his skill in the wet, but I would say it's going to be down to Dan Morris or Wet Lemons. I would probably be more inclined to say Dan Morris, as he's won 2 races this season so far, and yeah.
Yeah, we go to 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. Who gets a better start? I think Wet Lemons has indeed. He's got a mega start compared to Dan Morris, who's had a dreadful start as he's falling down the order more and more. But as we go into turn 1, who's going to take the lead? Luca and Wet Lemons going side by side for it. It looks like Wet Lemons might have it, but Luca with the switchback as they go down into turn 5. They go side by side. Oh, they're going to both make it. Wet Lemons backs out, and Luca is your race leader. Wet Lemons gone wide. This invites Dan Morris to go around the outside on the mediums, and Dan Morris succeeds. He moves himself back up to second, and Wet Lemons, who had the best start out of the 3 of them, back down. He's actually lost the position out of.
We've had a big accident at the start there. Mick Shue, he has received a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision with Durkee, as it's getting very mixed up at the back here as Danny Puonat goes very wide off Durkee. Durkee gets through and he's dropped all the way back down to the 14th place.
Yeah, that's like
very tight between these cars with Jack Craig back. Lost a lot of time to the cars ahead as Kaya has managed to dodge it all and get himself up to P7. Very good. Second behind Chris Johnson.
Yeah, it looks like I think Jess must be holding up all this train, and it's holding all these
Maybe
guys
some
up.
damage yet. Jack Craig's in.
Dan Morris.
Jess is in. They're all in.
I wonder if they all got damage. There must have been a huge pile up. As Mick Schumacher gets past Stereogram. Oh, and that is Jake Warrior looking. He's got damaged away.
Yeah, he's got no side. But
doesn't see what's going on there. But
whoa, his Mick Schue's gone very far off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, The leaders have completely gone as Wet Lemon's trying to get past Dan Morris. He sends it down the inside. They got the hill and forces Dan Morris a bit wide, but Wet Lemons is up to P2. So Wet Lemons is on a mission and he wants blood.
Look at Miss Chiapelli has almost got Wet Lemons out of his DRS. 1 second buffer. That could be vital for Luca's race.
Wet Lemons. Yeah, I thought he was going to try and make a move there into turn 17. But not yet. Just about in the DRS, are they? They are just. That will save them from Luca pulling away. I don't think they're close enough to make an attack.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Wet
Baza.
Lemons with a lot of straight line speed on that car.
Indeed, as Baza's gotten past deck for P4. And so got Darky getting past Jess for P12. Sends it up the inside in the chicane. Good move. But at the moment it is Luca from Wet Lemons from Dan Morris. The top three. And I feel like these guys could be fighting quite a bit for this lead, as Wet Lemons seems to have a lot more pace. As Dan Morris seemingly struggling a bit out there so far. As we are going to look to the back, someone's spun. That was Stereogram, who's ran wide. Thought he went round, but he actually managed to save it as Lucas takes us down the final straight of lap 3.
Maybe a bit of Wet Lemons' pace coming from his battery usage. He's got half battery compared to Luca and Dan Morris. So maybe a little bit of John's pace coming from his battery. But he seems to have a lot of straight line speed on that Williams, which has been notorious for its straight line speed in last go.
They've
Bit of contact
crashed
between the
and Wet
Williams
Lemons
and the Mercedes.
into the
Needs
gravel.
to compose himself and get that car back because he slid a little bit there, but Dan Morris making some moves towards the front as he gets past Wet Lemons after that little ad.
I thought I saw George Russell and Valtteri Bottas all over
Yep.
them, but somehow Wet Lemons,
Yep.
I don't even think got damaged out of that somehow.
No.
So
He stayed on the track, out of the walls. Didn't want to do a Senna.
wow,
God rest his soul.
that really caught me off guard. I'm hoping he doesn't have floor damage, but
He's now in the Baza's now, well, he was in the 1 second of Wet Lemons for DRS. Maybe a little bit of battery can get him back up there.
indeed, yellow flag. Oh, that's a big crash. That is Darky off. That is Jack Craig's front wing off.
Wow.
I think Jake might have
Drive-through
been
penalty
involved there.
for Jack Craig for severe
Daniel.
collision with Durkee, so that'll be interesting. Red Bull seem to be in the bin since Lewis Craig left.
And Morris has taken the lead meanwhile, so I'll focus in on that crash. There's been an overtake for the lead. I do apologise for missing that, but wow, this race. Daniel, I think, might have been involved in that as well. So another massive crash.
Very, very interesting. I'm sure the stewards will be very busy at the end of this race. Jack Craig has literally zero front wing on that car.
It's not looking good for him.
Not good at all.
His teammate, meanwhile, leading and pulling away from Luca, already a second gap after taking the lead. So, well, taking it easy at the start, but he is now pushing, trying to get away from the Mercedes, and so far, it is working. And,
Yeah, Baza, Luca is now out of Dan Morris's 1 second buffer for the DRS, so this could be Dan Morris's chance to just pull away and get the gap that he needs.
I'll tell you what, he's going to lap his teammate here. Which is
An Alpine sandwich. Not the race Jack Craig would have wanted. At all.
As Bazza's gone past deck. Deck's got front wing damage as well. Bazza 3 second penalty for corner cutting.
Jack Craig's also got his drive-through penalty. As he's pit there, he's got his drive-through to serve in the
You
next
got a
two
drive-through
laps
for that
now.
crash?
Yeah,
Wow, I don't see
so
them
that'll
often.
be. Oh, must have been. Oh, there's another car off there. Looked like a Ferrari with Chris
Uh,
Johnson.
Meanwhile, we'll look at the gained places. Dark Shadow, Kaya, 6 places gained in the first 6 laps. He's doing very well in that Mercedes. Looking forward to some good points if he keeps it on the circuit.
Both Daniel Piwiona and Jack Craig have lost 8 positions in the opening 6 laps. Not what they would have wanted at all for their races.
Yeah, as Deck all over the back of Bazza. These two have been fighting all race. Difference is Deck has a missing end plate while Bazza doesn't, so Deck's pace should be strong here without the front wing damage. Here we go, DRS open. Is he going to make the move on Bazza? Is he going to go on the inside? He's going to
Down
send
the
it down the
inside.
inside. Bazza gives him the
A
room.
very pretty good move from the Aston Martin.
Indeed, so that
It
is
looks Dan Morris seems to have checked out a little bit here. He's 2 seconds ahead of Luca now. Wet Lemons following 3.2 behind. Maybe some damage on that Williams car. The floor maybe going over that big sausage curbs down at turn 2, 3, 4. Not good at all.
yeah, quite unfortunate really, but it was a risky move to try and go
Yeah.
around the outside.
Well, we've seen what can happen making moves like that. So I think he got off lucky there.
Yeah. So Bazza, let's see, can he get past Deck again? This could be swapping once again every lap until the final lap when they will all go out and
Both
different
have
cars.
3 second time penalties, so this is for position. But it looks like Deck has got about double his battery storage, so maybe not a move from Bazza here. Needs to get on that harvest and get that some battery back if he wants to be making overtakes down at turn 1 anyway.
Indeed. As Jack Craig in again, so I don't know what's happened. Oh, it's
Serving
drive
his
through, isn't it?
drive through. Yeah,
Not the best idea.
definitely not the race Jack would have wanted. He's been lapped by Mick Shue, who's 8th currently. So, oh, who goes off the track? Gets on the curb at turn 2 and just gone straight off. Baza has got another 3 second time penalty for track limits. So that is not good for his battle with Deck for 4th place, as he is also falling out of his DRS. So as I'll be hoping Deck gets another time penalty added on to his race result. As Jess is 8 tenths to Stadogram now, so that could be a move in the coming laps.
Ooh, talking about stereogram. Clips the inside, grass a bit. Now Jess has a run on him. Is she going to go around the outside? No, she's going to sit back for
Yeah,
now.
that's
Oh,
a
he's got
wise
wide again
move.
though. And she's just trying to figure out where she can make a pass as he breaks very early. And Jess gets past. Oh, as he goes
Very
wide.
nice.
And
Broke early, but went exceptionally deep as he lets the 2 cars behind head.
I wonder if those soft tyres might be dying, but
Yeah,
everyone else on the softs seem to be hanging out.
driving very slow for some reason, Stereogram. But anyways, Jake is right on the diffuser of Daniel Pioliana, heading down to the pit straight. Bit of DRS, he's got almost a full battery over Daniel Pioliana, so this is going to be a very easy switch over for the Red Bull driver. Maybe a bit of radio telling the sister team to get out of the way. The primary team cars getting through.
I would like to remind, it's only just clicked in my head, there is meant to be rain, and I do wonder if that's why the medium guys are carrying on.
Yeah.
Though that makes no sense for the soft runners, who, in theory, they're going to have
Oh,
no
Dan
tyres.
Morris got on that curb there and looked like he lost the rear a little bit. But the gap to Luca doesn't seem to be coming down, so obviously wasn't very detrimental.
Baza into the pit lane, he is going onto a set of softs, so he's thinking this rain will not come. Whether or not anyone else is going
It
to
has,
do the
it has
same.
gotten very dark all of a sudden, now that you mention it.
Tyre and Mixu has also pitted. Well, I presume mediums. Hope not inters. Could be a bit worried. As Mixu front wing getting repaired as well, and a 5-second time penalty. Wet Lemon's 3-second time penalty.
Well,
Could have been. He hasn't won a race in TGP, has he? So
no, I don't think so.
tonight could have been the night, as there's a yellow flag for
Wet
Haas.
Lemons, yeah, he won. He's won a few races, I think. Indeed, too.
Bazza's had an off-in. Not good for the Haas driver, but no, he's quite comfortable in 6th. I don't think he can really lose a place unless he bottles it, even with the penalties.
Yeah, I would say Chris Johnson ahead on still on old tyres. All the cars behind are on old tyres, so I would say Bazza's got P5 secured really, unless Deck gets Acorn gets another penalty, depending on where they both come out from the pit lane. As Bazza comes around the final corner, Deck is just about off the limiter, so could be close here. Not close enough.
I think Baz's mistake has cost him.
Cost him big time.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if the rain isn't coming then, because half the field have now pitted, but it's gotten a lot darker. But
Oh, we've got a car in the dirt. Who's that? The
stereogram
sector. Yeah,
is
well.
letting the grid through. Not
Yep.
dead last though. It's doing alright.
No, he's not dead
No,
last.
I
No, we've
don't.
got a very bright blue and pink car taking that mantle for last place.
Who knows? Maybe he can come back as
So
Luca
Luca
on
is
wet
into the
lemons.
pit lane, yes.
So, ooh, Luca got
What's Luca gone on to? Soft tyres.
softs and so does wet lemons.
Yeah, softs
So
for the two of them.
now Dan Morris needs to push, make sure he covers that undercut if there is one. So I presume that is confirmation rain is not coming. Chris Johnson moves up to P2 then for the time being. So yeah, so far I don't think it's gonna rain, and if it does, then Dan Morris and Chris have pulled off a mega strategy, but I don't. Yeah, it's dark, but I don't think it's dark enough for it to properly.
Oh, is that some rain on my screen? Or is it just it is? I think it is rain. Yes, it's raining. It's raining in Imola Grand Prix. Dan Morris comes round the final two corners of 17 and 18. He has got rain on his car.
And he's
So Dan
pitting.
Morris pits. He's pitting straight away for that inter tyre, I can only assume. There's only 4 laps
Surely
to
he would
go.
have been.
Chris Johnson has just been overtaken by Luca. He's on the soft tyres, so maybe
He's gone on softs.
he's gone on the softs. It's raining. Maybe not thinking it's going to rain enough. It's
Yeah,
not coming down awfully heavy, but
that's a
maybe
risk though.
the Alpine pit wall wasn't lying to us. Stereo Grams in pits potentially
Tell you
for
what,
retirement.
Luke's catching here. Has he got him? No, he hasn't. He's just about came up behind.
Close.
But if this rain comes down heavy, this could get interesting. Stereogram onto the inters as wet lemons all over the back of Chris Johnson as he's
Yeah,
trying to find somewhere. Chris Johnson, I presume, is trying to hang out for the inters.
yeah, he's very old medium tyres against wet lemons, very new. So
He's
Yeah, Wet Lemons makes easy work of Chris Johnson ahead. But Luca is less than us, half a second behind Dan Morris. That was a good few outlaps by Luca to gain that time from Dan Morris. So this could go down to the final lap. Probably this bit.
And DRS might be disabled come the end as Wet Lemon's another 3 seconds. He needs to be careful. He's going to get caught by Deck if he carries on like this.
Speaking of time penalties, both Dan Morris and Luke Chiapelli are on 2 warnings each. So next off could be the last for their races.
Is Lucas sitting back? No, I'm quite surprised by that. Oh, is he? Okay, he has a little sneak. Because that DRS is going to start running out. And I tell you what, if it does decide to get heavy enough for inters, as Daniel has also gone on to inters, keep an eye on that time. Because that will tell us the true indication on if it is going to be wet enough. If these guys start sliding off the circuit with those warnings, anything could happen here.
This could be, the rain could decide who wins this race or not.
Yellow flag, that is Jack Craig facing the wrong direction. You can't park there, sir. Let's see who joins. He's not actually lost anymore, so don't think that'll be
Where
funny.
is he? Oh.
As we got to the leaders once again, this is actually the closest battle on track, as Stereogram has gone off again. Mixu is catching Daniel as there is another yellow, but we're going to keep an eye on the leaders. 8 tenths between the two at the moment as we go to 2 laps left in the Imola Grand Prix. As Lucas DRS is only just about open. Will he get DRS next lap? We will see. It's not raining heavy enough.
No, don't think it's
any impact.
Dan Morris looked a bit slidey on the exit of turn 3 there.
Luca, 3 second time penalty. He ruined our fun. And unless Dan Morris decides to be nice and give us a 3 second time penalty.
Yeah, Dan Morris now, he just needs to take it home now, really.
Stay on the circuit, don't spin, and you've got this in the bag. Luca can overtake you. It's all good. In the hood. So, as Luca's dropping back anyway, Jack Craig into the pit lane. He wanted that last place, clearly, as he goes onto a set of softs. So,
Alpine looking to have the speed over Mixu on his intermediate tyres.
Interesting.
29.4 for Dan Puluna in sector 2.
Maybe it is time then.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dan Morris was about 3 seconds quicker through sector 2 than Daniel Puluna from the inters to the softs for them. Daniel's making the move on Mixu currently, so maybe them tyres are doing a bit better than the slick. Jack Craig looking a little bit slidey on the curbs on his softs, so
yeah, definitely
maybe the inters on this last final lap. Not really enough time.
Having to pit, but completely forgot he has not done his mandatory stop. He goes on to inters, but I don't think he's going to really probably
make a difference.
Behind Jess, I'm surprised Jess has got a pause actually. Looking back at it, it's very random. I'd have gone on to softs or mediums, but anyway, we watch on board with Dan Morris, who has driven pretty much perfect race. He lost out in turn 1 and lap 1, but apart from that, he's kind of just looked forward and it has worked out for him. As he goes through the chicane, as he's captured the McLaren, or I think that's Mixu. No, it must be. He's only McLaren. Goes through the final few corners. It has been perfect. The rain hasn't stopped him in either quali or the race. He comes through the final corner. He is your race winner in Imola. There he goes, across the line, takes the flag. Luca will get P2, and Wet Lemons, what could have been for the Williams driver, didn't happen for him. He ends up in P3 as DRS is disabled, giving us an extra few laps, and this could have been chaos. Deck P4, good drive from him. Bazza P5 as he comes across the line with the same amount of penalties as Deck actually, so could have had Bazza not had that mistake, he could have had P4 in the end. Chris Johnson on his inters, he tried to make the strategy work. Don't know if it did work, as say, as Jess will end up in 7th, Jake will get 8th, and Kaya, good showing from him, managed to avoid the carnage.
P9, hopefully his penalties will not put him down to P10 for depending on how far back Daniel P. Wilnut finishes.
Oh, it's 24 seconds. Oh, I don't think he's gonna get that P9, you know. There's Daniel across the line. Oh, 2/10.
Oh,
Wow, he's lucky. And Mikshu will finish the race in P11, Sterogrand 12th, and Jack Craig on his soft tyres in 13th. Unlucky 13, but it is not unlucky for Dan Morris, who takes the win here in TGP2. As Jake Warrior is the driver of the day according to the game. I can't remember where he started, but he finished quite high.
He definitely did better than his qualifying position, but I'm not sure I would give it to him. I would probably have given it to Dan Morris. He had that shocking hurt, but he made it back and won the race, so I'd give it to Dan, personally.
Indeed, as Chris T has put great comms, well, such a maze. Thank you.
So I round us off with our final results.
Just watching them all spray each other with their very family-friendly alcohol.
The Champers.
Yes, Dan Morrison, your race winner and fastest lap. That just shows how perfect his race went. Luca in P2 with Wet Lemons P3, Deck in P4, Bazza P5, Chris Johnson P6, Jess Ball in 7th, Jake Warrior 8th, Dark Shadow 9th, Daniel P. Wilnut 10th, Mixture 11th, Stereogram 12th, Jack Craig 13th, and Darky continues his non-finish streak.
At least Durkee was not an optional DNF event. I think he was slightly a small incident at the start.
Yeah, whether or not, I don't know whose fault that was, but
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough in the coming hours after the racing is finished. Be a very busy stewarding room after Japan.
breaking in turn 4 was crazy, break my front wing. So it looks like Jack Craig actually caused the crash, the big pile up, according to Darky.
Sounds like something Jack would do.
So this will be really interesting for the stewards then, as we wait for what are we waiting for? One shot's confirmed. We'll wait for everyone to ready up. So I think, let's do the math, it's 25 points for the win in TGP2, I believe. So...
yeah, 25 for the win. 18 for, well, your usual, I think it's your standard until you get down to 5th, and it's 10 points to 1 down to P14.
So, Dan Morris with 76 plus 25, are you good at maths, or am I going to need a
101 points. Currently tied for the lead of...
oh, hang on, it's 26, isn't it? You've got fastest lap.
Oh, 26, so yeah, Dan Morris will be leading the championship currently by 1 point. With a race to go.
Yeah, looking good for Dan Morris then if he continues to finish every race. Could get quite interesting between him and CJ. Anyone else? Deck got P4. Chris Johnson finished in 5th. Jess finished in 8th.
Dick, an extra 12 points, and that put him up to 80 points. So that would put him, I don't know, P4 in the championship. Jess, what position did Jess come 8th?
8th, yeah, she's currently 3rd.
That's an extra 7, so that's 87 points for Jess, who is still 11 points behind herself. So that put her.
Let's keep her 3rd.
Yeah, like a new Ardeen, I can't be taking
4th.
away.
Because Dan Morris jumps
Yeah.
Jess, you and TJ,
So,
you are still in the standings, so.
yeah. So Jess in 4th, basically 3rd still. Unless she has an exceptionally bad remainder of this.
Yeah.
I'll imagine finish anywhere near the top 5.
Constructors, I'm not even going to bother working that out. We struggle with the championship, let alone the constructors.
I would say with Dan Morris winning the race, I would say that will put them ahead of Red Bull standings. There was only 16 points between them, and I don't know if Red Bull made 16 points.
Jess got 8th. I want to say
8th and 9th, I think they finished, so that would only be 13 points. So I would say Alpine have promoted themselves to P2 in the constructor standings.
Badza had quite a good race, so yeah, definitely first.
Could be first this after Japan if Dan Morris could take it to finish first again to win at the second race of the night.
Indeed. So we wait for the drivers to ready up. I'm going to get my Japan track map, and then like I told you earlier, you're going to talk us through the lap when it comes. We're going to watch on board with Dan Morris, I believe.
Yeah.
And
well, last season our podium was 3rd for Deck with the 2 drivers ahead, not racing tonight. CJH is not here, and Alistair, who is banned from TGP2 because he's too fast. So it could be a Deck win here if he's still got pace around the Suzuka circuit.
Chris Johnson, by the way, has left the session. He will not be taking part in qualifying. Unlucky.
I think there was. I don't think Kaya was going to be here either, so I think this could only be an 11 car shootout for the win. Looking
Chris will be in the
for
race,
qualifying.
just not the quali.
Right.
He's just disconnected, which I'm sure you know.
Yep.
Too well.
I've got that first-hand experience on that.
Take us away.
You find Morris. Can't find him. Oh, heading down turn 1. Let's not do a do-in and close that. Yeah, turn 2 is very quick. Very quick. He's currently 2nd through his lap as he goes through these very fast. Hand right, a bit of oversteer there. Not looking very stable for the Alpine driver through these corners. Currently 3rd. As he heads into these quick 90-degree handers underneath the bridge, which we will be going over soon enough. Yeah, showing speed from Durkee though. Dan Morris is only P2, is usually pretty good during qualifying. As he heads up to the spoon curve. Very fast left-hander as it slows down into another left-hander. Not looking too good for Dan Morris here. He's using a lot of battery. He's gotten back up to P2, so maybe a lot of low downforce on this Alpine as he heads into the final little quick chicane. It's not looking like pole for Dan Morris here at Suzuka, but a P2 is good enough. It's 2/10 from Durkee to Dan Morris. Pretty good lap time from Durkee, not what Dan Morris would have. after that race in Imola, but P2 is better than P3, I suppose.
Darky's very good in the quali. Just
Yeah,
not.
he's very
He
good
needs
at
to be more
quali.
consistent in the race, which
Yeah.
hopefully he might be able to finish tonight. We'll see. Darky then takes pole position from Dan Morris. Wet Lemons in P3. Not a bad quali from him again. Jake Warrior P4. Luca P5. That's quite low down for Luca. He needs to up his game, I think. Deck Sip, Jess 7th. Daniel P. Wilnut 8th. Jack Craig 9th. Bazza all the way down in 10th. Chris Johnson again having connection issues for his lap. And Stereogram has did surprise me with the parked in the
Disqualified.
I've never seen that in a one shot before.
No, must have got stuck on a curb or done a doing or something.
But I'm hoping he's not just gone somewhere and has forgotten that there's another race and just driven. That would be
Probably.
quite bad.
That's probably what's happened.
Hopefully he'll be for the race. I'm hoping Chris Johnson will be as well. His internet, I don't think, is wanting to be his best friend.
Well, it's looking pretty sunny around the track for the race, so maybe no rain expected. I'm not sure. We've had no news of the Alpine pit wall. So,
Yeah, who do you think is going to win tonight then? We've got a bit more of a.
I'm not sure. Let's see our grid. We've got Darky Morris, Lemons Jake. I'd like to say Jake would do it, but from the qualifying times, he's not quite there. Hopefully, a Jake podium to get Red Bull back on the podium. I was going for the start. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are away. Suzuka, Dan Morris. Oh, Wet Lemons has got a way better start than Dan Morris heading down at turn 1. He's not quite got past Durkee. Luca Chiapelli making 3 positions, I think, off the start ahead of Dan Morris, who's had a shocking start to his race. I would probably say that Sean's soft tyres have gotten him ahead and have a car off at the back, probably Stereogram. Wet Lemons looking down the outside of Durkee, who shuts that move off. A little lock up into that corner, so Sean has got a brilliant run on Durkee up to the hairpin. Durkee staying on a bit of contact on the Williams there from the Ferrari, a bit of bumping together there, bit of love taps. As Luca's getting a front row seat at this battle. Very close, looking very close. The whole field is very tight together, no one really out of a second except Chris, who I'm guessing is not here.
Indeed. Here goes Darky then. Is he going to go around the outside of Wet Lemons?
130R,
More contact.
Bit of bumping there.
In the 2, Luca! I thought he was going to send it down the
He
inside there
looked
from
at it,
Darky.
he thought about it. He thought about it.
But Darky then, as Wet Lemons starts lap 2. Darky in the slipstream, he's going to try and go around the outside of Wet Lemons. Chris Johnson joins back the session. He has to sit back for now. Now Darky, keep your head on. Do not lose your head.
Stay off the grass, stay off the gravel, and you'll be fine.
Stay on the good stuff.
On the black stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Luca then, he's also putting Darky in a bit of pressure, so we'll keep an eye on him. Dan Morris, not the best start from 2nd to 4th. He needs to make sure he can gain the most out of these races where CJ isn't racing, because otherwise, you know what CJ's like. Has Wet Lemons, bit of a mistake there. That would have given Darky a bit of a run, but will it be strong enough to make a move? Let's watch on board with Darky. He's got the run. He's going to sit
Maybe
behind now.
Those soft tyres maybe not switching on like Wet Lemons would have liked them to have been. But Dan Morris looking a little bit closer to Luca this lap than he did previous, and Luca a little bit closer to Durkee, so could be a potential move on the exit at 130R here. Durkee's looking to go down the outside of Wet Lemons, but thinks better off it as Wet Lemons seems to cut the corner a little bit. Oh, as Durkee goes down the inside of Wet Lemon
What
to
happened
take
to
the lead of
what's
the
happened to Wet
race.
Lemons? He's slowing down a lot. He's just lost 2
I
places and
think it's
one. That
just
might be 3.
Lucas forced. Looks like he's forced Durkee off as he takes the lead, making 2 positions on that pit straight down at turn 1. So big moves for Luca as Wet Lemons looks like be coming back at Durkee, but those soft tyres not doing any favours as Durkee has had a wee half spin there, losing the position to Dan Morris into turn 8. So Sean is Wet Lemons back up to P2 after that mistake from the Ferrari. Dan Morris trying to get back up there with the front guys.
I do wonder what happened to Wet Lemons. It seemed like he just lost
It
all.
just looks like he just got on the power too early, maybe on the ERS too early from the exit of the corner. Just lost the rear
Yeah.
potentially.
Caught everyone off guard though. Nearly
Yeah,
lost all the way down to 4th. But as we've got literally a eight-way fight here for the win. Everyone's all congested into one.
we go down to Jack Craig on the hard tyres. Maybe that hard tyre's not got the grip that the Alpine and the Haas of Basel thought they might have had. As we go back down to turn 1, Lucas sets the fastest lap of the race. Dan Morris looking very close to Sean Wet Lemons down to turn 1. No moves though. Playing it safe in these early stages of the race.
Indeed, I thought Dan Morris maybe was going to try and get that move on Wet Lemons early, but he sits back for now as yellow flag. That is stereogram, I believe, has gone
Yeah.
off, and that is Starkey, who has ran wide
Oh,
and
he's in
into
the
the
wall.
barrier.
That is
And
going to be a broken wing. That looked another deck had also gone off there. Maybe got distracted by that car.
it's a safety car
Safety
enabled
car
then.
is out.
So
So Durkee going to be able to, with that safety car coming out, he's going to go in, change his tyres, change that front wing, get back out and finish the race, hopefully. We can only hope. And he slows Jack Craig down a little bit. Jack, don't imagine will be very happy with that. The stereogram is in the pits. He's gone onto the medium tyre. So those tyres should make the end of the race, 15 laps. This might be a bit difficult, but I'm sure they'll make it.
indeed, I've just messaged Starkey saying don't retire.
Yeah,
Thinking he'll take that on, but okay, I can see what he's doing. I thought he just drove himself into the barrier then, but he's not. Okay, we ignore that. So I'm sure there's going to be pit stops. Let's see.
who's gonna pit? Luca
Luca.
is in. Wet Lemons is in. They are coming in. Pit
Oh,
lane.
Luca,
Jack
10-second
Craig.
time penalty.
Not good from Luca. Jack Craig has stayed out on his hard tyres. Baza, no point in them pitting, especially if there's going to be another safety car. Not that you can tell the future if there's going to be one, but maybe not thinking that medium tyres will make the end. What Wet Lemons will be thinking, or want to think, as he comes out on his medium tyres.
So,
Everyone
oh,
else on the hards.
Dex dropped a fair bit. I swear he was behind
Yeah,
Dan.
I think Dick got either made contact with Durkee, and that's what caused him to go into the barrier, because it looked like Dick went off, maybe in the barrier for him as well. Maybe a front wing change for the two of them, which they probably, as they're both ninth and 10th behind Jess and Jake and Daniel, who they were both ahead of before the pit stop. So maybe a front wing change for Jess, or maybe just held up in the pits by her teammate. She seems to be quite a bit back from the pack.
Yeah. So Jack Craig then gonna enjoy himself some screen time. Oh, not if you
Yeah,
touch the grass
be
like that,
having
you won't.
a nosebleed up there.
As something's going on between Darky and Deck, because Darky has overtaken Deck.
Maybe
So
Deck maybe gone off.
maybe I'm not.
Deck. Or maybe hanging too far back from the pack and Durkee's had the pass message on his screen. I'm sure they need to. I would say the drivers need to give themselves a bit of space because this is how safety car accidents happen. So we're all very bunched up together. Give each other some room.
So, by the way, Luca only won the penalty 10 seconds from is the net lead, but he's now gonna have to carry somehow 10-second time penalty and still win this race, which is going to be a task and a half. So yeah, CJ is giving therapy to Darky, saying keep your head on, focus, and
Yeah, things can happen. Yeah, he's a net what P7 when once Jack and Baza pit for their tyres. So seventh place, still good points. I think that's eight points maybe.
Well, even if he
So
finishes last, it's points. I mean, look at
yeah,
Stereogram. He continues when he's, he struggles every week and he gets himself points. So
yep.
carry on,
Just gotta
Darky.
finish the race.
Exactly. You've all been where you've been once upon a time.
Yep, we've all been there, my friend.
So here's we watch McMylander carry us around the circuit with everyone snaking along, apart from Stereogram, who is catching up. So tyres then, everyone's on hards apart from Wet Lemons and Stereogram. Wet Lemons didn't really have an option. Oh no, saying that, no, he started on softs, didn't
Yeah,
he?
I
So
don't. From watching Jack and Baza, I'm not sure it was pace. I think it was probably the tyres were maybe not as good as for maybe say the mediums. Maybe the mediums a bit quicker. The hards just from Jack and Baza's cars at the start, it just looked like they had much pace. So maybe Wet Lemons pulling a better strategy move going on to mediums for this safety car restart. Should if the car's in this lap, it'll give us what? Yep, as it is. It'll give us 13, 14 laps of racing. So medium should last 13 laps as Jack Craig does a few burnouts to getting that rears brought back up to temperature. I will let you take us away for this safety car restart.
So just noticed as well while you were talking, Wet Lemons has front wing damage. I'm not
Ooh.
sure how he got that. Maybe might have been involved with Darky's incident, but I don't know. As Jack Craig then, he's slowly but surely getting us to the line and goes. Does he catch Bazza napping? No, he doesn't. But I'll tell you who has got someone napping is Luca, who has napped so much they're going three wide into turn one. Who is going to come out in front? It looks like Luca just about defending Wet Lemons, but Wet Lemons looked like he was about to pass him. But
Maybe that damage is slowing him down in the corners a little bit as he
he's
goes onto the
struggling.
grass a little bit. Yeah, struggling big time. Not
That
think
was
for two
getting held
seconds that
up.
Dan won't get ahead of him. Sorry.
Yes, Dan Morrison getting held up. Darky passes Jess for P8, so good to see that he is
He's still
continuing.
here, still in it.
So
Chris
if
Johnson goes off. Oh no, he's not here.
so, Luca, he needs to push, but at the same time, he needs to shake off Wet Lemons as soon as possible.
Durkee, a potential move on Jake, then the Red Bull at Spoon Corner. You're going to leave him the space. Oh, a bit of contact. Right to left rear from the Ferrari. So maybe not the right place to make a move as they go up 130 Rs. You're going to go around the outside as Jake gives him the room, but Durkee just not too far long enough.
Sending
to
it.
make any moves. Yeah, sending it. Turn 16. No moves in the first lap, really. One or two. Jess has dropped a couple of places after that restart, so maybe some damage for Jess in the Red Bull. As Chris Johnson appears to be back.
Good to see. So, as Luca all over the back.
Oh, and he's gone. Safety car,
I think he's
potentially.
done that
Oh, yeah.
through the menu, so hopefully not. But
Yeah, hopefully not.
I think he just thought he needs to retire
Yeah,
ASAP because otherwise
this
the
is
car's going to start
just too
blowing
much.
everyone up.
Yeah.
So, Luca then. Everyone getting held up by Bazar. When is Luca going to make the move, or is someone going to try and take advantage of this stereogram? 3-second time penalty. Darky trying to make
Chris is
the
back.
move on Jake, and does so successfully. Good move from Darky into
Very good
P7,
move.
as he is looking to get a comeback on. Everyone's staying behind Bazza. This is helping Darky, if anything, because he can catch up to the
Potential.
strain.
Dirk is very close behind Daniel Piril now. Maybe a move 30R here as it goes all around the outside. Got much more speed on over the RB. A little top there from Daniel, just making sure letting Darky know that he's there as he goes deep, but makes it work in a very
Oh, who's that? Wet
two good couple
Lemons,
of moves. Wet
who
Lemons
has
is
been
into the
forced
pit
into the
lane.
pits. He spun and have ended up in the pit lane. Meanwhile, Jake getting past Daniel, and so is Deck into 6th and 7th. As Luca also got past Bazar and will be pushing to catch
Deck's
Jack
coming back.
Craig.
Ah, Jake.
Side to side,
Is Jake going to
gets
give him
touched.
enough room? Not really, but Acorn backed out of the move. Durkee is back right on Dan Morris here, so there's a potential move.
Oh,
Dan Morris damage, maybe? Maybe from Contest. Dan Morris.
oh,
Oh! Dan Morris front right wing end plate is gone. As Baza is struggling very bad on the hard tyres now.
Darky gonna do the switchback on Dan Morris. Dan Morris struggling with that damage, but he just can't get past Darky. But at the moment, good recovery drive from Darky. This is what we've been on about. He continues, he can carry on, but he has to sit behind for now. Meanwhile, Bazar struggling. I think he must have some sort of damage as well.
Yeah.
So that could be race over for him. Meanwhile, Darky on up to 130R. Looks like he should get this move on Dan Morris. He sits behind actually. Waits for the straight. Tell you what, Darky is in a good place to win this race because Luca has that
Yeah,
10-second
that
time penalty.
penalty. Jack Craig's not pit yet, holding out for another safety car. Yeah, Durkee's got no threats from behind, really, with Jake 1.8 behind, so this could be a Ferrari win for Durkee.
He just needs to
Luke's
make
down the
sure,
inside of that move. Maybe
he
not.
doesn't go for any risky moves. Meanwhile, Bazar still holding up this gaggle of
Yeah,
cars.
he's got back past Deck, so maybe settling down again as he's still not pit with 11 laps, 9, 10 laps to go, so yeah, maybe thinking about a pit stop soon. This Luca's right on the back of Jack Craig now. He was over a second and a half behind him last lap, but he's got back down to 6 tenths behind Jack Craig, who's yet to pit. And Luca's still with that 10-second time penalty though. That's gonna crush his race. A little bit of contact between Durkee and Morris in right coming out of that hairpin as they go into the spoon curve. Oh, Durkee's got on the curb and lost the front. It's Jack Craig's
Oh,
round. Jack Craig's round. Durkee's out. Safety car. Safety car. Virtual safety
PSC,
car.
he is right
Durkee
on the middle
is
of the
out.
circuit. I'm surprised that's not a
That
safety car.
is really unfortunate. Wet
Wet
Lemons is also
Lemons.
round. That is really unfortunate for Durkee. He was looking in a good position to win that race. Yeah, a pit stop from Luca to get rid of that penalty. I would maybe on the
Oh,
softs. No, as he stays
and
out. Dan
Dan
Morris is
Morris
in.
pits.
Fix that wing, I would say, as F1 Baz is in, Dex in, Jess is in, Jack Craig's in. Yeah, I would say he's Oh, he has to pit anyway, never
I
mind.
tell you what, you mentioned at the start of the race Jake could win this
Yeah.
race. He's now in P2. He's got Daniel as a rear gunner in fairness. This could work out for Jake.
Yeah. Don't know if I said he
And
would win. I think I said he would get a podium just for the sake of him being in my car. But a win works as well. Come on, Jake. Really, is probably his biggest threat would be Dan Morris, who's on these fresh medium tires. Baza looked like he had pace, to be honest, even on those very worn hard tires. So maybe some fresh soft could maybe bring some pace from Baza. I think Jake and Daniel have got the same age of hards on. Let me have a look. Yep, 6 lap olds for the 3 at the front. 6 lap old hards for the 3 at the front. Fresh mediums from 4th to 7th. A fresh set of softs for Jack Craig, who is cutting grass at the moment. Mediums for Sarah Graham and mediums for that for Wet Lemon. Having a bit of a mare after he had a little spin of when that virtual safety car came out. Or safety car, sorry.
oh, hang on, yeah, I just clicked on the safety car. Is that?
Yeah, it still says virtual safety car in the top left, but the safety car is definitely out.
Or it's some intruder, who knows?
Bit of Cody magic, mate.
So, while we're here with nothing to talk about, we have CJ, who has asked, Lewis, what is your opinions on your battles this season?
My battles.
Your battles with CJ.
Battles with CJ. Can't really remember. I don't think there's been that many. What tracks have we done? I need to think now. Jesus. Put me on the spot. What tracks have we done? Austria. Deck. Sorry, not deck. CJ had a drive through for a false start, so I didn't fight him there. Brazil was a pretty good battle. He made an incredible move in the turn 5, I think, on the last lap. It was a really good move. Spain. Spain, I didn't really see him.
Too far ahead, sorry.
Yeah, too far ahead, sorry. Canada. Canada. I didn't come into contact with CJ in Canada. Only the other one. Time cones. Monaco. CJ was light years ahead of us in Monaco. I was a decent bit ahead in Azerbaijan. They one battle between, to be fair. So, and he made a brilliant overtake. So, there's your answer. He made one good overtake on me. That was it, pretty much, in a nutshell.
Well, there is your answer, CJ. Darky is having a meltdown on the chat. Apparently, Daniel has bad defense and he could have killed him. There's a lot of, I think that's Dutch
I
in the chat.
don't think that was. I mean, at the end of the day, the car behind is at fault for not slowing down if that's what happened. I never saw it because I was looking at Jack as he had died, so. And then 3 seconds later, Durkee was out, so
So he has put a
it
lot of
looked like.
Dutch in the chat as well.
Don't forget the Google Translator, right? As the safety car is in this lap, as Luca Chiapelli takes us for our restart, to Jake behind, looking like he is in the best position for the win. At the moment, if Daniel Pugliona holds up the cars behind, this could be a Red Bull win once again. But a bit of weaving before we get going again, get that tire temps up, as Luca's gone already before even the final 2 corners, so he is going now as Daniel Pugliona gets a 3 second time penalty before the restart, so not good
Great
for his
start,
result.
Luca.
A very good start. I think he's caught Jake sleeping a little bit. 8-9 tenths ahead, just into turn one alone, so definitely caught the pack sleeping a little bit. Baza is looking pretty quick on them tyres, as so is Deck. As he makes the move round the outside. Oh, now onto the inside, a bit of contact from Baza, maybe not losing room, as he's gone into the back of him now, so maybe some words between Acorn and Baza after the race. Dan Morris hoping to make some moves himself, but he's got Jess behind. Very quick, also very slow exit from turn 9 for Deck there. Jack Craig's gotten past Jess. Maybe Jack Craig making some moves on the soft set of tyres. The only car on the soft is Baza and Acorn are battling for position up in the spoon. As
Oh, that is.
not
He lost
as they're
his head
bumping
slightly.
together. Yeah, oh, he's got front wing damage. Front left end plate is gone, and it was the right. No, it's not. The right's still there. Damage on that RB.
Holding everyone up. Tell you what, this helps
Yeah,
Luca with that penalty.
this
He's
helps
staying
Luca
out.
big time as DRS is enabled, but which doesn't matter for Jake or Baza or Daniel, as they neither of them are second of their car ahead of them.
Oh, good move
This
from
is
Dan
good for
Morris.
Daniel. Brilliant move, especially with that car having damage. As
Oh, there's
contact
crunch.
between Deck and
Oh no,
Daniel
that's
POE
not
on
nice
that.
to see. As he's
No,
Dex rejoined
knocked
on the
off.
track and has killed Jack Craig. And
Oh,
there's
that
another car
Jack Craig.
stereogram.
No front wing for Jack Craig. That is not good. There's going to be words. Probably, most likely, a penalty coming Deck's way for an unsafe rejoin. But we'll go back up to the front as Dan Morris is looking to make a move on. Oh, he's gone into the back of Baza. This carnage. He has lost the wing. Dan Morris, front right end plate gone. Maybe some rear wing or diffuser damage for Baza. That was a very, very big slam. A bit of contact on
Baz is
Baza's
around.
round.
This
Yeah,
has gotten all messy
and
here in Japan.
potential rear wing damage for Baza, I would say. Wet Lemons is looking in a fantastic position to win this race now. Considering he started 10th on the safety car restart, he's up to 4th already, avoiding all that carnage ahead. As Jess could be in a potential good position for a podium, so maybe a Red Bull 1-2, 1-3.
Yeah, Jake's in a
We'll see.
fantastic position.
We'll see how close Dan Morris can get to Jake. Dan Morris using quite a bit more battery than Jake in the last lap.
I think, if I remember, I think this would be Jake's first win in 2 years in TGP.
Wow.
Might be even league racing at all, I can't remember. But if he can just stick this out, defend from Dan Morris, he
Oh,
shouldn't lose 10
gee.
seconds.
Wet Lemon's getting on the grass a little bit, losing a few tenths to Dan Morris as Jake makes the gap even bigger to Dan Morris. But he's losing that time to Luca. He really needs to be in Luca's DRS as Dan Morris is now in Jack Craig getting a 10-second time penalty for being in the pit lane. Not good for him at all tonight. Dan Morris is looking in Jake's DRS this lap as clouds over the left side of the track are looking a bit dark. Don't think we expected any rain, but we'll
No one
never hold
expected.
out for it.
No one
Never.
expected the safety cars.
Yeah. Deck's looking very close behind Stereogram up to Spoon Curve. Stereogram is all over the joint.
Hey, what?
So Deck maybe backing out, making.
Oh,
Oh,
crashed again.
wow.
And there's quite a bit of
Well,
head loss here.
yeah, a bit of too many incidents as Jess is right on the rear wing of Baza, who looks to just let her go. He knows he can't fight with his damage. I don't think he's got damage. Managed to somehow avoid all the damage and give everyone else damage. Namor is still not getting past Jake though.
Jake
So
was slightly catching up to Luca
yeah,
here, so I don't
maybe
know if
some.
Luca's maybe trying to drag.
Luca has got a lot more back on the track at the moment. There may be some battery saving from Luca there. Not trying to get, maybe trying to secure his P6 finish. His deck just 15 seconds behind Baza, so potentially a P6, top 6 finish for Luca. See what he can do.
Yeah.
Dan Morris has got a lot more battery than Jake. Maybe Dan just holding out for the last lap, save that battery, get that DRS, and just make the move on the last lap for the win. Wet Lemons is catching up to Dan now, so maybe not wisest to moves. Maybe Dan Morris wanting to put a car between him and Sean as he
Oh,
goes down the inside into turn 16. Decent move, could have maybe left Jake a bit more room. But he's in the net P1 at the moment, so this could be a Dan Morris win.
Jake
Jake,
defending.
yeah,
Wet Lemons. Is Wet Lemons going to try and go around
someone's
that
off.
side?
Jack
No,
Krieger's
he's.
spun.
Yeah, Jack.
I'll get in. Not a good night for Jack at all. This will be one to forget for him.
Oh, Wet Lemons.
What a move!
What a
What
move
a
from the Williams
move!
driver. And that is
Down
him
the
up to
inside.
P3.
Very good move. So this is on. This is Wet Lemon is gunning for the win here. He's got S of Dan Morris. So this could be a battle to the end. Maybe Wet Lemon's at a little bit of a disadvantage. 4 lap older tyres than Dan, but got a little bit more battery on the DRS to add to that. So this could be a battle to the end.
Tell you what,
Jake
Dan
just
Morris with the
hoping
front wing
on.
damage as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's missing that front right end plate, so that's not good for the Alpine if he's hoping to win this race. Jake managing to hold on to the DRS ahead, so this could be a secured podium for Jake. I'm not sure if he's got any damage. Oh, yep. It's Jess. Jess is catching up. Baza catching to Jess as well. Dex losing quite a bit of time. 2 seconds last lap to Baza. As we go down to the pitch straight to Wet Lemons on Dan Morris. 4 tenths DRS and ERS activated. Just set a fastest sector 3 as he looks to go down the inside. He's done it. That was an easy move for Wet Lemons. Damage struck in the Alpine of Dan Morris. So
See,
this is a net P1 for Wet Lemons. Looking good for him.
but you've got to think about it as well. Dan Morris has the upper hand going on to the final
Yeah,
lap with the DRS. Now, I've done mind games with Casper a
yeah.
fair few times. He wasn't very happy about it, but it works.
No.
Will Dan Morris be able to stay in that DRS? He does seem to be struggling quite a bit. This could be Wet Lemons' win as it goes to 9 tenths.
Wet
This is
Lemons on 2 warnings as he has just set a very quick sector 1. Let's have a look at Dan Morris. He is on warning, so penalty advantage to Dan Morris if they were to get one. Wet Lemons getting that DRS off Luca though, that could be vital for the win. Dan Morris is almost out of the DRS against Wet Lemons. So this could be a vital move having Luca at the front as Wet Lemons catches up. If he can
just
get
missed
in
out on it.
that, yeah, not quite in the detection point there for Wet Lemons. Dan maybe not either. So as Wet Lemons is very messy on the exit at turn
Oh, Dan
17 there.
Morris has an exit, but he doesn't have
It's got no
DRS.
ERS,
If he
no
had the
ERS
DRS,
or
he would get him,
DRS.
I reckon. But just too little, too late.
Yeah, so this is looking very good for Wet Lemons. This is our closest battle on a track right now, so we'll stick with this for the end, the last final lap of the Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix. See if Dan Morris can make a late move at all.
It's looking very good for Wet Lemons. So 6 tenths only between them, but the ERS Wet Lemons does have more. He is prepping himself. Oh, it gets a bit slidey
Loses.
out of the exit, but so far I'd say it is still looking comfy for Wet Lemons as long as he stays in the circuit, doesn't run wide.
Bit of wheel
And
spin from the Alpine.
yeah, it's looking good for Wet Lemons as Luca hasn't really done anything wrong. Probably a few miles per hour
No,
ahead in the pit lane, and it's cost him
a shame
really
for Luca.
podium everything. He's gonna do
That
it
was,
back to.
he's kind of maybe no one really pushing too hard. Well, he's pushed so hard the last couple of laps. I would say he's got no body left. But we're coming to the final couple of corners of 17 and 18. Luca takes the win on track, but his 10-second time penalty is not going to knock him down as Wet Lemons takes the win of the race with Dan Morris P2. Jake on the podium, like I said, for Red Bull. Jess rounding out the 4. So that's a 3-4 for Red Bull, better result than Imola last race. Baza takes that 5th place. Luca down to 10th with that penalty. Sad for him, he could have done it. He had the pace. We've seen on track that he could have done it. Deck takes that P7. Stereogram and Daniel Piwina. This could be a final couple corner battle. Not sure.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
as
not.
Stereogram closes off the
Marco
gap.
Helmet
Maybe
is
Dan gonna make
not
a move
very
in turn
happy.
16. Oh, yeah. That's some floor damage for Daniel Piwina, just as well. He's not further making the move though. Daniel Piwina takes P8 in a very dramatic final sector battle. Stereogram P9. Jack Craig is miles away to round out the top 10. Not the night Jack would have enjoyed. Very, very. Going to be very busy in the steward. I'll say
Yeah,
that for
this
free.
result
This has
is not
been.
gonna be staying the same.
Yeah, I would imagine so. As he's very slippery on the second to last corner of 17. So that's Jack Craig, P10.
Still points.
Maybe that, yeah, it's still points, 5 points, not bad. Maybe that safety car restart, he got a bit lightheaded, so drop back, make himself feel better. Wet Lemons gets in driver of the wet. I would give it to Wet Lemons. He's there, get that win.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think driver, all-time driver of the day. Who would we go for that?
All-time driver of the day for the whole night, I would say Dan Morris. I reckon Dan probably could have taken that win if get that damage off of Baza. So I would probably put Dan Morris to win that if he didn't get that damage. But yeah, I would probably Dan Morris for my all-time tonight driver of the day.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's been pretty good tonight. Obviously, Japan didn't go too well, but
No,
he had that incident. But it's still second place, good results, and he's going to be doing quite well in next week with the championship.
yep.
So, you want to do standings real quick?
Standings.
The race.
Oh, so we've got Wet Lemons in place ahead of Dan Morris, Jake, Jess, Baza, Luca, Acorn, Danny Pugh and Stereogram, Jack Craig, Darky with a DNF, and Chris Johnson with a double DNF for the School at the Japanese Grand Prix. Luca getting the fastest 10th quicker than Wet Lemons. So very good from Luca, even though he got that penalty, he's still getting that extra point that he maybe not got. So yeah, that was some good racing, some rough racing, but yeah, just need to, maybe some of us need to take a think about ourselves for next week and cool down, cool the head, and go again.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, the Twitter chat has exploded.
Yeah, I
With
am
multiple,
glad. I am glad that I am not part of that anymore.
yeah, multiple
Not that
drivers
part of
quite
it when I was
angry.
racing. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get some insight from the older brother. I'm sure he'll tell who's arguing. I can imagine who's arguing with
Yeah.
who, but yeah.
Well,
Anyways, what are we on next week? What
we
tracks have
are
we got?
on
We are at Monza and Australia and Monza. So Australia being our 35%, Monza being our 25 with the safety car on. No, is that the right way around?
35s are the 50. I presume
Oh.
That'll be
We'll just,
safety car, I think.
yeah, I imagine the 50 would be our safety car race. So
Yeah,
Temple of Speed taking our 50% race next week. Should do some good racing. We're usually pretty good around Monza, so hopefully no major incidents like tonight.
yeah, I hope so.
Hmm,
So,
hopefully.
that is it.
That's it. It's
For
over.
yeah, thank you for uh,
No
joining.
problem.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, you're going to be here next week, I presume?
Most likely.
Alright, we'll see you next week. Yeah, that's all the races. Thank you for the drivers for racing. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully, I'm hoping I'll be here next week. Let's
Yeah,
hope so.
probably.
Yeah, have a good night and safe travels.
See you on PS4.